What's up, everybody? This is J.R. Reeman here at Peckerwood Bowl, wherever.
Peckerwood Bowl. What's up, everybody? J.R. Reeman back again, coming to you from Shopmakers Pro Shop here in Toledo, Ohio, where today we're going to take a look at that shim and the shim wrecker by Big Bowling. First up, we're going to do the shim wrecker because it is the solid version. Then we'll go take a look at the shim, which is the pearl version, see the difference between the two. They do have the same layout, that 45 by 4.5 by 45. So we're going to take it out here. Now I've got a typical league pattern back out here. I think it's 44 feet again. So we're going to take it out here and see what they have here in a minute. Stay tuned. All right, here we go. Big Bowling Shim Wrecker, solid. This is a good one of their good looking ones. The other ones are pretty ugly. This one's not bad looking. I'm gonna do it like I did before and try to do that 8, 9, 10 thing. Problem is now I'm on a league condition, so I'm gonna have a hard time getting it to go straighter up the lane. Wow. I mean, that's literally the first time that ball's gone down the lane, so that's a good sign. That's pretty cool. I hit about 11, maybe 12. Tried to go a little straighter. So we'll see if we can't. I'm gonna try and go a little bit further right than that. Just a little bit. And see what happens. So it's definitely tumbly. It definitely wants to get going forward and be rolly. So it'll be interesting to see what happens as I go left and try to get around it a little bit. Because generally the tumbly balls like that have a hard time getting around the lane. They have a really hard time making a corner and getting through the pins from the left part of the lane. So we'll see what exactly happens as we go left, but first, we'll move over to that 15, 13, 14 range. See if we can't make some good shots. It's a good shot. See how forward it gets going though? Like I feel like I'm still rolling it pretty good forward, but it looks like it's dead end over end. And maybe that's the color scheme. Maybe it's just the colors that makes it look like it's tumbling forward. But it does, it looks like it's just end over end. Barely any side tilt at all. So let's see what happens. So that was pretty good, that was a good shot. I'm gonna go 4 left. So we're gonna do that 4 and 2. I'm gonna stay with a rolly hand position. Let's see when it flat tens. That didn't flat 10. That was pretty good. That looked pretty good. So we're gonna have to, it wasn't dead forward. It wasn't as forward as the last one, but it was still forward. And as I move my feet left, my hand naturally tries to get around it a little bit. So even though I say I'm going forward with it, it doesn't mean it actually is. All right, so I'm gonna go 5 more left. Now we'll get to that 18, 19 range. But I'm gonna stay with that same hand position, or at least try to be close to it. Yeah, see, now you can start seeing it just getting blendy, not quite getting through the pins. So if I get my hand around it from there, it may force me to go a little bit further left because it's gonna make it a little bit stronger off the pattern. So it's not a bad thing. So I'm gonna try and stay in that same spot and throw the same type of shot, but with a different hand position. I'm gonna get my hand around it just a little bit. Yeah, it was definitely much better. Bad balance, but it was okay. So we can So it's got to be the color scheme. It's just the colors that makes it look like that because it's rolling perfect. It's doing exactly what it needs to do. So now I'm gonna go a few more left again. I'm gonna try to get my hand around it a little bit. Oh, that was actually pretty dang good. That was a really good shot. And those blower 7 pins, I mean, what are you gonna do with that? There's not much you can really do there. You can see it was a little high off the head pin, but it was pretty much money ball reaction wise for the most part. That's crazy to me. This thing rolls good.
Thank you for giving it to me.
So we're gonna get around it. See what I can do here. Just a little bit further left. Got that one in a little bit, but it sat there, so that's a good sign. So that one was left, didn't quite get to the dry, or to the right, like the other ones did. But boy, oh boy, it's picking up the lane the right way. Definitely picking up the lane the right way. These are surprising. Man, I can't even say they're surprising because I didn't know what to expect. Brand new company. That one I got to the right. That's what we're looking for. This thing hits hard. That hits hard. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of, oh, it was a storm ball back in the day, the Invasion. The Invasion. That was one of my favorite balls. Now, it's not necessarily color scheme wise, a little purple in it, not enough red. But ball motion wise, that's what it reminds me of. And I loved that ball. The Invasion was great. One of the only solid bowling balls I liked back in those days. That's really good. Man, this thing, even though it looks like the colors make it look like it's just rolling dead forward, but it's doing all the right things shape-wise. So if you can get one with the right color scheme, it'll look awesome. I mean, it's fairly dark bowling ball already. There's not a whole lot of color in it. But like I said, this is probably one of the only, as of right now, this is the only one I think actually is pretty good looking. The other three are fairly ugly. But you saw the idea and the idea pearl. Those definitely rolled pretty good too. Ooh, spun that one up. Spun that one up and you trucked the 9 pin. Good grief. All right, there's the SHIM REKKER. Obviously, really, really good bowling ball, really good bowling motion. You can see that thing read the middle of the lane the way it's supposed to, and it continues down lane. Now, it was a little tricky to start. I thought it was going to be a little forward, but it turned out it was just the colors of the ball. So the colors of the ball made it look like it was more forward, but you couldn't argue with the reaction. That thing would read the middle of the lane and truck through the pins, and it would never quit. So that's the perfect idea of what you want out of a solid version bowling ball like that. And it's pin up. So being pin up like that, generally you don't get, at least for me, I don't get that. Generally I get a little bit quicker response with a little bit of stop, whether it's pin up or whether it's pearl or a solid, it doesn't matter for me. But with these ones, this SHIM REKKER, I didn't see that. So that is a good sign for me. I'm not seeing really the same type of review that some of the guys who are, starting the company, like, some of the early guys, Simonelli was saying they were too clean a little bit. If maybe I misunderstood him, but I thought he said these were a little too clean for him. I'm not quite seeing that. I think these are actually doing the right thing in the middle of the lane. I like seeing them clean in the front. If it traps and hooks in the front, I'm in trouble. So seeing that ball actually read the middle of the lane, not the front, reads the middle, and then goes down lane, perfect. If I can get a solid bowling ball, and then hopefully the pearl version complements that, does the same thing, and then pops a little bit down lane compared to this. So without being stoppy, I don't want it to be stoppy. But for this, 100%, if I'm gonna scale it, out of 1 to 10, as far as ball motion this year, I'm gonna give it an 8. I think this is pretty good. The only solid bowling ball I think would be a 9, would be like the Proton Physics. That was a 9 as a solid because it did exactly what I talked about, but it's a little bit overall stronger than what this is. So that's why I would just rank the Proton just a pinch higher. But as of right now, this is an 8, and I think this would be great in everybody's bag. So you need to make sure, head over to BowlerX.com. We've only got like 8 of them, or I think he might have actually only had 3 at the time. He's got up to 8 coming. So get over to BowlerX.com, order yours today. I'm going to put a link in the description, but they're not going to last very long, so make sure you go get it. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. And until next time, guys, I'm out of here. We'll see you guys later. Take care.